Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the GrapHER Club podcast. In today's video, we're going to meet Fiorella from the team of POAP. I don't think you want to miss her story, so stay tuned in this one. Hi, Fio, how are you? It's really great to have you here.
Hi, Emmy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great and so happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you because we were like waiting for this podcast for a long time. So it's really a pleasure to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe a quick introduction about you, maybe professionally or personally.
Okay, where do I start? I'm Fio. I've been involved in the Web3 ecosystem since 2018, particularly helping in different events and projects, um, like meetups, like the Ethereum Buenos Aires meetup, ETH Latam conference, um, participating actively in different projects like wallets, such as Defiant Wallet, and I'm currently working at POAP, and that's professionally and personally. I love cats, traveling. I practice yoga, so that's a little bit about me.
That's really cool. I really love cats too. So, can you tell us about how did you start your path in Web3?
Yeah. Actually, I consider myself very, very lucky because I wasn't looking a job in Web3. Um, I back then in 2017, I was looking for new opportunities for a new job. I used to work in an agency, a marketing agency, and I was looking for a job in tech, like general tech. I didn't know what I wanted back then. I remember I read about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I was interested in it, but I didn't know that I could get a job there. Um, and while I was researching different job opportunities, I saw one from a data privacy company named Wibson, and I applied, and they were looking for a community manager. So I applied, and it was like amazing, um, getting into this world, especially in a data privacy project. We were like really early, I think, in data privacy stuff, like thinking about like user privacy in an era where Web 2 and social media were like two uh, heavily used by everyone in the world. And I think we were one of the first data privacy projects out there. Um, and for me, it was amazing. Like, it started working at Wibson. So I consider myself very lucky because I wasn't looking for a job here, and I ended up in like my dream job.
That's really cool. And it was it hard to learn about Web3 because maybe sometimes can be really like a lot for us, especially when we are just entering and we're not that close to technology. Like what was your journey of learning Web3 like?
Oh, yeah, it was really tough, to be honest. Because imagine back then, in the agency, in the marketing agency I was working, we only used to use like Facebook or Instagram
Of
to
course, yeah.
communicate with people. This concept of community building didn't exist in the traditional social media platforms. We talked about like audiences and and
Yes.
the audience we needed to reach, but this concept of community didn't exist. And I remember when I first joined Webson, they told me you have to create the Telegram community, and I was like, "What is Telegram?"
It happens,
Okay, it's
yes.
similar like as WhatsApp, but at the same time, it's different because you're kind of private private there because you only need a username.
Yes.
You don't need to show everybody your phone number. Wow, this is great. And I remember I used to publish in forums like Reddit and even Bitcoin Talk back then. And it was like, what I am doing here. And most of the team members building in Web3 back then were developers. They weren't like marketers or people from community or communications. Um, so it was really hard for me to understand first the tooling and in the second place, like the technology in per se. Like I remember when I first heard about gas, that I had to pay gas for the transactions. I said like, why? Why do we need Ether to move another token? And yeah, it was all new to me. But at the same time, it was amazing learning everything. And then when I started um, interacting with the community, it was amazing seeing that even some community members knew more than I did. And it was amazing learning from them, from the community as well.
I think you're in the great like place because POAP is all about community also. And I really want to know about POAP. Maybe our audience doesn't know about POAP yet, so maybe you can give us a little quick tour about what does POAP do?
Mm, it's a it's amazing because when I heard myself saying that Whipson was my dream job, um, I now recognize that I was wrong and that POAP is my dream job because I like Web3 social now. I'm more into
Course.
Web3 social in general. Uh, POAP is a protocol for the preservation of memories um, with digital collectibles. What we do is to offer people a digital collectible, which is an NFT. And I mean, not us, event organizers do use POAP for uh, reserving attendees' memories. So you go to an event and you get a POAP to remember it. And the event organizer then can check who came to the event, can do a raffle with it. So it's amazing because when you start collecting POAPs, you have the record of your history on the blockchain and in general in Web3.
Yeah, I'm in love with POAP. I have to say that at the end of this show, we're having also a POAP for this special episode. So we will have maybe a secret phrase, or maybe we will have like just the link. I'm not sure. At the end of this video, we will know. But yeah, it's really awesome to have these collective memories of what you are doing in Web3 in just one place, and these data to be on chain really facilitates to have everything like in one place for you to like analyze or share to your community and stuff. So right now I want to know like how did you discover POAP, like, and when did you get involved with this particular ecosystem?
It was in 2018 or 19, I think, when I first met Patricio. Patricio is the POAP founder. I
Yeah.
remember we were at Ethereum Buenos Aires. It was a meetup that we did. We used to do it monthly. Yeah, we used to do it monthly before the lockdown. Um, it was amazing because it was a gathering of, I don't know, like 30 people, and we kept doing it. Like we were so in love with the technology and the possibilities. And we discussed ideas on how to save the world with Web3 and with stable coins. I remember Mariano Conti from MakerDAO was there, and there were different people from the Web3 ecosystem, people from Open Zeppelin,
Wow.
Decentraland. Yeah, it was like the kitchen,
Yes,
uh,
yes, of course.
yeah, of all these projects, these amazing projects. And I remember I met Patricio there, and I asked him like, "Hi, what do you do?" And he told me about POAP, and I fell in love. Like I said, okay, this is fucking awesome. Like it was
Yes.
the first time I saw something like this, the use of NFTs to preserve memories and something beyond financial things in the ecosystem.
Yes.
Back then, there was here's one of my cats. uh, Back then, I remember we only have one distribution method. I said we, but I wasn't working in the protocol back then. Patricia only had one distribution method. It was like little QR codes,
Okay.
uh, and he used to distribute the POAPs himself in these events. And he used to create this artwork with the obelisk from Buenos Aires, el
Oh,
obelisco, for those who speak
yes.
Spanish, uh, which is a monument here in Buenos Aires. And it was amazing. Like I remember I said like I said to him, this is truly awesome, and that we can do this in Argentina for our meetup. Uh, it's it's amazing. And when Patricia couldn't come to the events, he used to give me the little QR codes, and I distribute them to people.
No, that's
So
so
that's
cute.
how I met Patricia, and that's how I first knew about POAP.
Of course. I think that PUB is a really like cool project, and maybe our audience wants to also know what are the projects or maybe activities that are coming for this year on PUB. Like, can you tell us about a sneak peek of something that is coming up soon?
Mm. Uh, yeah, I can tell you about POAP collections, which is one of our newest products.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, for what we discovered is that people have their own collection of POAPs. You can download the app and you can collect and see all the POAPs there. But for event organizers or issuers of POAP, there wasn't a way to organize your collection. Imagine you at the Graph. You organized like, I don't know, hundreds of events.
Yes, community talks, and there are also advocates, tech, the Graph News. So there are a lot of events also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in real life events,
true.
meetups, whatever. So with POAP collections, issuers can organize their POAPs and have them all on the same place.
Okay.
And you can check, there is a ranking where you can check who are the top collectors. So you can discover your own chain fans, which is really great.
Mm, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it
you can
is.
discover like who came to my events, who is participating on the graph, what are they doing? Are they going to online events or are they going to in real life events? I don't know, a lot of data you can discover, and at the same time, collectors can see the POAPs they have. So there is like a small diamond there on POAP collections, and if it's on, it means you have the POAP. So you can also show that you are participating in that in that particular community
Of
or a particular project. So if you're, I don't know, you're looking for a job and you want to prove that you are a Web3 fan, then you can say, okay, I went to this the graph event and this, I don't know,
course.
chain link event. um, whatever project. So it's really interesting what you can do with POAP collections. We are still building and working on it and gathering user feedback. Um, and there is another project I can tell you about, which is POAP Moments, and it's a platform to add photos and videos and audio to your POAPs. So you won't have only the POAP, but you will also have the possibility to attach media to it, which is really cool.
Oh yes. So maybe our audience also can like collect the pop and like see the media that we have, like some, I don't know, maybe some screenshots of this interview and stuff. So I think it's really cool for POAP to have these special moments like very well placed. And I think it's great. I think it's great. We love POAP.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think we a lot of people in the ecosystem love POAP because we have how to say it, like this social graph we are building, which
Yes.
is really cool. You can connect with people on chain. You don't need any data. You just go to an event, collect people's POAP, and then you can stay connected beyond the event, only with an ENS or an Ethereum wallet.
Hmm. Totally true. Right now I think I want to like switch the conversation into something like I want to know your opinion about the contribution to diversity and inclusion
Mhm.
that you maybe are seeing or have seen in Web3. So traditionally, the corporate and business world has been predominantly a male-dominated field. But
Mhm.
it seems that in Web3, we are increasing the involvement of women. Do you agree with this opinion? Like, how have you observed the level of diversity in the Web3 space compared to the traditional corporate and business world? Maybe from the tech side of Web2 or some like previous jobs that you've been part of.
Yeah, it's really interesting seeing that many Web2 companies have like inclusion teams or people specifically working in inclusion or trying to include more diversity into their companies. And in general, I think there is still like a low participation of women, specifically in management um, management roles. While in Web3, like we are everyone, I would say equal. I'm not sure if that's the word that best describe it, but
Mhm.
since we are all like we preserve privacy, we don't care like if anyone lives in, I don't know, whatever country or their gender. We don't care about their even their education. Like in general, um, if you went to college or not, or if you went to do, I don't know, an MBA, it doesn't matter in Web3. What matters if is that you will have skills, you have the ability, uh, and that you have like the passion. So I feel, and this is my personal opinion, that there is more inclusion, and I see more people in more women in management roles because of that. Because we don't care who you are, your age, or your gender.
I really am caught by the phrase that in Web3 doesn't matter the gender, the role, or anything that you have, because it is very true. Um, So, are there any aspects of the Web3 culture that you find particularly refreshing or challenging compared to your experiences in the Web2 world? Like, what do you like the most about this ecosystem that you really rescue?
Yeah, in terms of challenges, I think the technology in general is a challenge because understanding the technology. it's hard, and most of the developers are men. Um, so that's challenging, like onboarding women to Web3, but not only like in roles like development or data science or whatever. Um, that's the challenge. What I rescue is that this open mindset we have of inclusion. So I think that's really different from my experience in Web 2, um, where, as I said before, it doesn't matter what's your gender. Um, in general, we see people as addresses, ENSs. So it's crazy, you know. So that's what I value and that's what I rescue. That the inclusion comes from what you have to, um, or where you can add value, on how you can you do it instead of thinking on who you are, what you studied, where do you live, etc.
So now I want to like know that if you can share some experience where you have to like quickly adapt to a new way of work. Because maybe like in Web3, we have so many challenges like coming to us, but was there something like very big that you have to quickly adapt, and how did you do it? Because we want to know like how diverse it is, but how quickly we can adapt to it.
Um, okay, so in my personal experience, I found like really challenging adapting to the fast pace of Web3 in general. Uh, but it's really easy in general to adapt yourself because there are many people to support you in the ecosystem. What I found is that you are not alone. You have your community supporting you, and there are even people who write and creates content, as you, Emmi, in fact, uh, which is really great. So you can read and listen to podcasts and digest the information in an easier way. So I think you have support, a lot of support in your community and your peers, your partners, and you're never alone. So that's what I found.
I really like what you say because it is actually like a fact that maybe you can grow in community. And that's what I really wanted like to ask. And you really responded like I have wanted to, because it is actually something that I want to like give this message to the audience, and maybe also with your opinion about it, because community is also part of your learning and educational part of this process in Web3. So I think it's amazing to have said that. Now I really have to say that maybe it's time for you to give advice to the audience, to the girls, boys, everyone that is seeing this podcast about how can they start in Web3? What are some of the key elements that you want to make sure they have them to not make the mistakes that maybe we actually made them at first when we were starting in Web3? And all of the things that you want to share with us in this podcast is like your free space. So feel free to say anything that you want for people to come along in this like Web3 world.
um, it's challenging to give one advice, but I would say that my main advice would be, uh, don't be afraid, don't be scared of starting in Web3. Uh, when you first start reading and seeing like a lot of content out there, it could be overwhelming. Uh, but the support in the community, as we said before, is key uh, for your learning path. So don't be scared. Just go ahead and try it. Like, use the platforms, create a wallet, and start doing things. Because if you read a lot, and then you don't try it out, uh, it seems even more challenging. But it's not that. It's, I mean, it's kind of hard, but you have to start with baby steps. So you first create a wallet, then you do your first transaction, and you will get used to it. And find support in your local community. I know that there are a lot of groups in Telegram, or on social media supporting people locally. So go find your local um, supporting community and go to meetups, participate, and you will find that it's much easier than it seems.
Oh, that's really cute advice. Maybe we can end this podcast with a message for the audience. I'm not sure, like, if you want to give your socials or maybe like give some message to the world. So there's your space for that.
Oh, that's challenging too. Uh, but my message to the world is dream big. Uh, and dream big, but then plan in baby steps to achieve your goals. So that's my message. And if you ever want to talk to me, and I'm on Twitter as Fiore Scan, you can find me. And I am also very active on Farcaster as well, so you can find me there.
So that's it for this podcast, for this interview. Thank you so much, Fio. I think that you have a strong message to the world. And it's really cool to see that you're one of the females on Latin America that are leading some big protocols and that are doing some fundamental part on this Web3 constructing ecosystem. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you very soon, maybe in an IRL event. I think I'm going to go to Buenos Aires soon, so I hope to meet you in a few months.
Nice. Thank you so much, Emmy, for the interview. It was great. I felt really comfortable, and it was great to talk about these topics, which are really interesting and useful for the whole community.
Thank you so much. See you very soon.
Thank you, Emmy.
Thank you so much for watching another episode with us. Don't forget that the GrapHER Club podcast is all about empowering and inspiring more women into Web3. Don't forget to retweet or subscribe to this YouTube or Twitter channel. I hope to see you in the next one. Follow us on every social media account that we have, and I will see you very soon. Take care and bye bye.